Ok, esto va a ser una de las pocas cosas que quede junto con los 500 euros de barca que avancé ahora. Pero ¿qué hace Clorín de por acá? Y está en el bar más encima. Está con Nadia.
Lua, can't you just, you know, sneak up behind those monsters with me and BAM! Take them all down?
¿En serio venir a jugar rol? Oh, oh, la weá, genial, weón.
I can act 3 times in a round, and there are only 4 monsters in total. I'll take 3 down. You just gotta handle the last one.
I can draw the monster's attention from the front, but sneak attacks...
Well, there isn't much we can do. Itlua's a Lock Knight who chose the Goblet of Justice.
Indeed. If Itlua were to strike from behind, he would be
Nah.
forced to become an Oathbreaker Knight. A significant
Ocuparon
penalty
esta
would
weá de
apply to
nuevo.
all
Ay, qué
actions
tan
going
bonita esta
forward.
imagen, weón. Clorín de como la Dungeon Master.
Oof, that's not good. If we don't defeat all these monsters in one go, those explosives are going to blow us sky high.
There's another way. I can use Raging Torrent to dash straight into the thick of it, then detonate the explosives.
No, no, that won't do it all. Your character would get wiped out that way. We finally managed to gather the party and have such a lovely time together. It would be...
But if we don't do this, the character that you've been playing for so long might get wiped out too, Miss Navia. Wouldn't that be worse?
I only just started playing. Please don't.
Wait, I've got another trick up my sleeve.
Navia, put that krumkake away.
Uh-oh, that move was blocked too.
¿Clorinde?
These pieces on the table, and the stuff you were saying just now, you're playing.
A savior has arrived! Right on time! Quick, come join us! Oh, Clorand, this doesn't count as violating the rules, right?
If he's willing to join us. Oh, by the way, we're currently playing on easy mode to accommodate the newcomers.
Traveler, would you like to continue the adventure with us? You definitely would, right?
Continúa la aventura, ¿te refieres a la de aquella
Oh,
vez?
come on. Any more questions and those explosives are gonna send us flying.
Ya, me uno, me
Good.
uno.
Since you haven't played a script for a while now, you may have one chance to reselect your skills. The skills you can modify are cooking and medicine. What do you think? Would you like to make any changes?
Cocina.
Very well. In that case, you want to learn the cooking skill, yeah? Very well then. Let the game continue. Just when everyone was at their wits' end, a familiar voice rang out from behind them.
Long time no see, everyone. Looks like you need my help.
By the way, what are you doing here? Could it be that you heard our summons?
That kind of makes him sound like a summoned spirit.
Indeed. You have called, and I must answer.
Guess that means I was randomly dragged into this game.
As expected of the veteran player Miss Navia mentioned before, they got into character instantly.
Though the Marashose hunters had much they wished to share with one another, at this moment, the joy of reunion must yield to the crisis at hand. Now then, the combat round continues. You have the first turn. Also, since we have a new member joining us, I'll be adding some dark cards to boost the enemy's various abilities.
The Traveler isn't a sudden addition. He's been traveling with us all along. We've just, parted for a short while, that's all. Totally normal.
I've already counted the dark cards. You should start discussing your tactics.
You're so strict, Clorand. Anyway, let's stick to the original strategy. Now that we have the Traveler with us, we have enough people. Itlua and I will hold the line out front against the monster's assault. Yehoda, Traveler, you circle around the back and take them all down in one swoop.
All right, leave it to me. We Masters of Chi get huge damage boosts when attacking from behind.
Excelente.
But why are you a chef? How's a chef gonna perform a sneak attack?
Dio un sartenazo, po. Ah, ¿de verdad?
Correct. Your frying pan is a blunt weapon that, given the right card draw, can inflict prolonged stun effects on enemies.
So that's how it is. Oh, these tabletop troop games really are complicated. Oh, you gotta have a lot of imagination.
Coming up with a strategy already, huh? Nice work, Traveler. But let me say one more thing. Itlua, don't go charging in alone this time.
I understand. A Lock Knight's duty is to protect their companions and be their shield. Sorry, I always can't help myself.
Oh, don't worry about it. I can act 3 times in a round, so I'll definitely keep up with you. Just
All right, Itlua. We'll be counting on you.
Then I shall use the skill attached to the Lock Knight's shield. Wrath of Fright.
The Lock Knight raised their shield, chanting the knight's creed out loud. The monsters were completely captivated by the radiance of justice, and the fearless knight standing within that light. Meanwhile, the 2 companions lying in wait behind the foe seized this opportunity, preparing.
you take the first swing, I'll hit right after.
Mira que aquí es con carta en vez de dado, weón. Esta. 16. Craquito con el
The
Zaptersz.
Marashose hunter's skills hadn't dulled with time. Nimbly, he leapt from the bushes and delivered a mighty blow to the enemy's head with his frying. Though the frying pan might be ordinary, the Marashose hunter was no ordinary chef. The enemy let out a grunt before collapsing completely.
Nice! Okay, next Right, gotta use swift as wind to close the distance, then use 4 element strike from behind. Ah, that hurts! Who bit my leg? Huh? Ashru? What are you doing here? Is it this late already? Oh no, oh no! I completely forgot the task that Boss Neff asked me to handle! I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I can't play right now! Ashru! Wait for me! Hey, why are you running off so fast?
Well, it seems we'll have to end our game here for today. Navia, put the monster sign back where it was. I saw that.
Por curiosidad, ¿por qué vinieron a no Krai?
Well, that's quite a long story. If we get the chance, we can sit down and discuss it in detail.
Actually, didn't Itlua say he wanted to invite a colleague to play with us? Since this game's paused anyway, why don't we take this chance to go find him? The more people we have, the more fun we'll have.
Mr. Flint's? Yeah, I'm sure he'll play with us if we go look for him.
Oh, that's perfect. Come on, let's go buy him some gifts first, and then pay him a visit in person.
Traveler, we'll let you know once we're ready.
When the time comes, you have to continue the adventure with us.
Oh, llámenme.
That's my trusty companion for you. Now, let's go pay Mr. Flint's a visit. What kind of gift should we get him?
Qué historia tan buena, por chucha. Lástima que no pude sacarle fotito porque se activó sola la cuestión. Sí, pues se activó solo, ¿cierto? Sí, está ahí. Flynn vivía por acá, ¿o no? No, pero ¿dónde vivía esto, weón? No sé, porque para acá no. Ah, está con la... Ahí no, si no creo.
So, the wires go here, then there, then here, and then... Ta-da! All done! See? Super easy peasy, right?
Why on earth am I here at this class? Where's Flint's? We agreed to come together. Right. I understand. I've gotten written down. All of it.
Writing it down won't do any good. Last time you said you had it memorized, but today you showed up and forgot everything again. Enough, confiscate his notebook. You're writing it down from memory now.
What? Wait, let me take one more look.
Pasa que llegué en una hora de examen.
You have taken multiple looks, but every look is directed somewhere different. I presume that you are attempting to find methods to evade the lesson. Such efforts are futile. All such methods have been rendered ineffective.
But I haven't even said anything.
Your eyes indicate your intent clearly, Mr. Itlua. For instance, you placed a partially finished crumb-cake in our workshop stove ahead of time. I hypothesized that your plan was to secretly take it out during the practical class to draw Aino's attention. However, I have already removed that crumb-cake. It can be reheated for consumption after class.
Y abrí son los lampareros.
How on earth did you find out?
Mr. Flynn's has already executed this method once.
La wea.
What? Flint's told me he hid his crumb-cake in the cabinet. How come he hid it in the stove, too?
Also, you were carrying a bag of crushed small fish, Mr. Eat Lua. I believe that was an attempt to lure stray cats along the roadside as you walked.
Oh, la buena saberlo todo, bueno,
You
la
would put
cagó.
the bag under your feet, the kittens would gather around you. Afterwards, you would pick one up and exclaim, "Huh! What a cute kitten!" Upon which Aino's attention would be drawn accordingly. Unfortunately, Mr. Flint's has also tried this method before.
Puta.
Impossible. All small animals are afraid of Flint's. They wouldn't dare to get close to him. How in the world?
While he did not lure the small animals here himself, he taught this method to Aino. Subsequently, Aino utilized this method to play with the small animals for an entire afternoon. The lesson for that day had to be canceled. This time, however, I have already fed all the small animals present in the area. Therefore, this method will also be ineffective.
What do you mean you fed all the animals around here? Even the deer and birds?
Affirmative. In order to preserve the learning environment, I have already fed all the small animals located within the vicinity. Every individual has been attended to. As such, please start writing down the circuit diagram we just covered.
Mr. Itlua. I apologize for intruding upon your studies. Greetings to you all, Miss Aino, Miss Inefa, Mr. Traveler, Paimon.
He's here! The truant is here!
It is with great regret that I find myself unable to attend your enlightening lectures. However, a matter of absolute urgency necessitates both my own departure and Mr. Itlua's temporary withdrawal from this gathering.
The same non-negotiable reason has again been invoked. A matter of
Such is life, full of non-negotiable frustrations.
Oportunamente inevitable.
Indeed, that is why we term them so. For they have a frustrating habit of arriving at the most inopportune of moments. Catch. Now, young master, let us be on our way.
Se quieren puro echar el pollo, po, weón.
Mr. Flint's, none of those tricks you mentioned earlier worked.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I'll make sure to share some new ones with you next time. Just a pity that after what just happened, another one of my best ones is now off the table for the foreseeable.
Qué chistoso, weón. Estas cosas reemplazarán a la cuestión de la... Ay, ¿cómo se llama esta cosa? No, no, el prestigio, el... ¿Qué es esa wea? Solo he hecho dos, po, weón. Puta, justo está donde hay unas crónicas, po, weón. Estoy cachando que se me va a activar la crónica y no la legendaria, weón.
The meeting's probably gonna be in the biggest tent, right? Looks like a bunch of people are there already. Why don't we go chat with them?
Nifa.
Short distance propulsion module on cooldown. 15 minutes until next departure. Switching to chat mode. Hello there, Paimon, traveler. Varko placed a sizable order with the Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop. I know is hard at work producing the strategic reserve, while I am handling the deliveries. Secondly, I am also here to attend the meeting in her...
Huh? Flens! Paimon thought the Lightkeeper's rep will be Iqua or Nikita.
No hay probabilidad de ofrecer por entrenamiento consistente,
You're
weón.
quite right. However, Itlua and Nikita are both busy organizing the Ratniki's region-wide response to the recent attacks. And since I'm well acquainted with everyone else here, I was the one they recommended to attend the meeting. Sometimes you don't get a choice when there might be consequences down the line.
Voluntario e involuntario.
Go, go, Baron Bunny!
Hey, Honorary Knight. Looks like Beto and Durin are just wrapping up their analysis. You want to wait for them here? That works too. All right.
Ahí era ahora, weón.
Hey, Honorary Knight. Beto and Durin are just wrapping up their... Great. While we're waiting, could you update me on the situation in Mondstadt?
Después de contar la barca todo lo que pasó en Mustad, también explica el presente de conexión del dios del viento norte
And
y
that's where
Dakas.
things stand. The Wild Hunt is no longer under the Reikir of Solnari's control, but it has been reborn from the ashes and is now launching widespread attacks. Intel from the Frostmoon Scions and the Curatorium of Secrets corroborates this. No disturbances have been detected in the space where Rere resides. What we are facing here is a completely new foe.
Summarizing current situation. To confirm, the present leader of the Wild Hunt is the creature resembling a wolf.
More precisely, it's the external will that has seized control of Andrias' spirit, namely Roland, the Bloodstained Knight.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Aquí se
Oli,
dice
Taki.
Oli.
Completely lost. This
Aquí
¿Cómo
se
wasn't
dice
está?
some
Taki se te hielo,
monster
Taki se
from,
te
like,
hielo, Taki se
500
te hielo.
years ago?
Tequillo. Ay, ¿cómo le va? ¿Cómo le maltrata la vida? ¿Cómo van esos Fortnite? O creo que también estoy jugando el COD, ¿o no? Gran bola 8 musical. Al ataque le va a ir bien mañana. Oh, quiere que tome agüita. Le tomamos agüita, pues. A mí.
Taquise dice, a mimir descanse cuando pueda, Taquisex besitos.
Sí, 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 sí. Los viernes me quedo siempre está bien tarde, así que. Porque no tengo nada que hacer mañana, así que me puedo levantar tarde.
How'd he suddenly get wrapped up with a god
Gran
from
bola 8
1,000
musical.
years in the
Ojalá que le
past
vaya bien mañana.
and the present day wild hunt?
Te tocó una de las primeras canciones que hice. Excelente.
Allow us to explain that part. Are you familiar with compensation mechanisms? When an organism sustains damage, relevant tissues will undergo changes to offset the loss of function. For example, when one kidney is damaged, the other will be strengthened to compensate. Or, when a main artery is blocked, the collateral vessels become more active. Similarly, when the Wild Hunt lost their leader, the Abyss harnessed the memories that flow throughout the ley lines to fashion a new one, fit for the present circumstances. That new leader is a mirror image of Roland, the Bloodstained Knight.
Reflejo de Roland. Así que en ese no era el verdadero Roland.
Right. No matter how strong the compensation is, it will never quite match the functionality of the original organ. The Roland replica can't possibly imitate Rarir's overwhelming power, nor his ability to disguise himself as others.
Claramente.
So, the Abyss made use of the connection between Roland and Boreas to compensate for this lack of power.
Mira qué desgraciado.
The replica corrupted and took control of Andreas as he slumbered by the bank of Amsvartnir, ultimately manifesting as the giant beast that you all witnessed. However, exactly why the Abyss chose Roland to mimic, and indeed how it was able to do so, remains unclear.
I guess he must have gotten caught up with the Abyss or Krai somehow during his wanderings through Teyvat. But we can keep those questions on the back burner.
Okay, Paimon gets all that, but what did you mean when you said we can't kill him right now?
We can't kill him right now because a dead god may prove more dangerous than a living one.
Okay.
From intelligence gathered during the expedition, we have reason to believe that the power released when a god is felled can have catastrophic consequences for us mortals.
Como cuando la torre cayó en la guarida de Zaptersz.
Worse still, the wrath that remains after a god's passing becomes a source of endless turmoil. Once god remains contaminate the land, they will persist for thousands of years.
Ya, eso no me acuerdo, güey.
This land has already been ravaged by the Wild Hunt. If we add god remains to the mix, it'll be like adding salt to an open wound, placing everyone who lives here in perilous danger.
Query. While I can indeed find records of disasters caused by god remains in my database, there also appear to be cases of gods dying naturally with no ill effects. In that land, the passing of the Pyro Archon's flame is a common occurrence throughout history, and even the part of Andreas who remains in Mondstadt has experienced death once before, has he not?
Great question. Glad you asked. Honorary Knight, you said
Oh.
Lupus Boreas gave you a token to pass on to me? Please, present it now. Should help explain things faster.
Sí. Es una espada.
Come forth, Boreas.
This form has come to the end of its time. I'm afraid I can accompany you no further on your journey. My soul will fall into silence, and my power will flow into the ley lines of this land. Perhaps this is all that a wolf can hope to do for humankind. Do not grieve for me, for this is the end I have chosen. Instead, remember that one day, your wandering too must come to an end. Where a final wish before I slumber.
Una canción.
Sing me a song that
¿Qué fue eso?
You saw it too. You must have keen powers of perception. Not that it surprises me. That was Boreas' final thoughts before merging with the ley lines. It's the reason Mondstadt remains unharmed by his god remains. In his final moments, he made a choice to give everything he was to the ley lines. All to protect Mondstadt from harm.
Sounds like Andrea spent thousands of years searching for his place in the world, too.
Yes. And now our task is to return the answer he found, the decision he made, to Andreas' heart. Only then can he break free from the corruption and control of the Abyss, and make that decision once more.
I see. I would say that planting thoughts inside the mind of a god sounds a little far-fetched, but since it was his own wish to begin with, it sounds feasible to me.
Wait, we already have a perfect solution? Then why are we even having this meeting? Let's go do this thing!
No seas tan impaciente, joda. Oh, se dio tiempo. Ay.
Ha ha ha. If only it were that simple. Unfortunately, this one thought alone is unlikely to be powerful enough to break through the Abyss's control and reach Andreas' heart. We need to find a way to make the thought within this sword stronger and more resilient.
For now, Boreas needs all his remaining strength to fight against the abyssal corruption to Mondstadt's ley lines.
Sí, eso sí.
He can't afford. However, Since his form was unstable during his journey with the first Night of Boreas, many wolf spirit fragments were left behind along the way. If we can collect those fragments, we can use them to strengthen the decision to merge with the ley line.
So we need to retrace his steps and look for random fragments?
You don't need to worry about that. There's a few fragments left to gather in Krai, but apart from that, most of them are already inside this sword. I've been collecting them during the whole expedition.
Huh? Wait, really?
I mean, it's an expedition, not a stroll in the park. Each step of the way, we've been hard at work planning for every possible contingency. Not just the wild hunt in the abyss, but ancient gods remaining in Krai.
Sounds like this plan was a long time in the making. It's almost as if you...
As a matter of fact, I did. I caught a glimpse of fate's reflection. But I can't take credit for it. It was all thanks to the help of a few friends. Still, all I foresaw was that an abyssal calamity was brewing in the north. Had I known more, we could have saved a lot of energy. Instead, we've had to make best guesses, prepare for every possible scenario. If all that preparation went to waste, all the better for it. But anything that proved useful, we knew we'd be grateful for down the line. Sure is. Just one crucial step remains. We need to gather the last few wolf spirit fragments scattered around Krai, and use them to make the thought within this sword as strong as it could possibly be. According to what Boreas told me before we left Mondstadt, his form was at its most unstable at the beginning of his journey. That means the fragments here should be the most powerful ones. But of course, we've been tied up fighting battles since the day we set foot in Krai. First with the Wild Hunt, then with the Doctor. So, it wasn't until recently that we were finally able to confirm the status of the Wolf Spirit fragments. We now know there are 3 left to find.
Okay, so 3 more mini expeditions to go.
Aquí quedan 3 mini expediciones.
I managed to gather 1 fragment before Roland reappeared. I also have... As for the 3rd fragment, we've identified a general search area to focus on. But we'll need all hands on deck to pinpoint the exact location. The final snag is that since our foe is a replica of Roland, he too will be aware of Andrias' history. He's sure to try and sabotage our plans by any means at his disposal. So everyone needs to bring their A game.
With our foe being from Mondstadt, it's our duty as Mondstadters to defeat him.
Uy, me quedo mío. Ay. Sí. Ay. Oh, los hasta acá. Pero estos eran del Durincito, ¿o no?
And since the Wild Hunt is involved, the Lightkeepers will provide their full support.
The Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop will also help in any way we can.
So what do they need me here for? Wait, I think maybe I signed a contract at some point. Didn't exactly.
Ah, great. Knew I could count on you all. Lastly, our friend from the Curatorium of Secrets will provide intel and relay battlefield communications. Looking at you, Yehoda.
So, you'll be darting back and forth across the battlefield, dodging the Wild Hunt and the shadow of an ancient god. I'm impressed by your courage, Miss Yehoda.
Rating for Yehoda updated. Higher quality ingredients will be used to prepare your future meals.
Darn it! I should have known this payday wouldn't come that easy.
I'll deal with the second Wolf Spirit fragment, which we already know the location of. The moment you make any progress with Fragment 3, be sure to give me an update. Traveler, could you join me in retrieving Fragment 2? I have a feeling that your unique constitution... All right, time is of the essence. Let's move out, people. Dismissed!
Hey, there's something strange over there. Come on, let's take a look.
This realm is... If you ever have any questions about...
Vale. Vamos a apagar. A ver a quién le dejamos la raicita, weón. Ok. Muchas gracias por acompañarme el día de hoy. Cuídense. Nos vemos. Bueno, hoy sábado puede que prenda más temprano o no sé. Nunca lo sé. Bye bye.